United States submarine base at Key West, Florida. A dispatch that quoted President Truman's press secretary, Charles Ross, as saying that President Truman has no knowledge of any secret project by this government that would give substance to the existence of such objects. Ross also said that both the Air Force and the Navy deny that such objects exist.
I just decided now that Cora has a Danny DeVito body. When she sits and her legs, both of her legs go to the left and then her arms go right and left. So she's kind of like mermaid posing and you can just see her big, beefy baby body. Look at her. She's so gross.
No, I gotta see her like somehow cough something out of her nose. It was like a cough, but she kept her mouth
She
shut.
sneezed cough.
Yeah, it was
her face.
And then she licked it off and was so jazzed. Whatever demon she expelled from her body, she was so excited
She's
to just slurp it back up.
It's like becoming a theme that we like talk about how gross Cora is at the beginning of every episode. And I want everyone to know it's because we do 10 seconds of silence up at, oh my God, this fly's going to drive me insane, up at the top of the episode so I can do like a sound check. And during that time, it's 10 seconds of silence for everyone other than Cora. And she just so happens to always, while we're all in complete silence and we're just staring at them, waiting for the time to go by, she always, without skipping a beat, is doing the grossest thing on earth. She's secreting, she's snoring. Like, it's disgusting. It's so gross. And like, it's like the day that the earth stood still, but it's just Cora being like,
It's like in horror films where you hear like the sound of the killer, like Jeepers Creepers, like it plays that song, but it's just Cora breathing.
Oh yeah. Someone thought that I was on a call and someone thought that I was playing Diablo in the background. Diablo demons.
You're like, no, it's just my shitty dog.
It's just a gross thing. This gross goblin girl. I also did a great edit. I did a really great edit of Cora's face as Quado. Like on Quado in Total Recall. Honestly, one of the best edits I've ever done. So if anyone wants to make it a sticker, let me know.
I've never noticed this, but look at how beautiful black and pearly her little fingernails are. Those look done.
I know.
Look at that. It looks like you painted them black.
Scratches my flesh. She scratches my flesh with them. Cora is so violent with like how she like when I sleep, she'll come for my face, she'll come for my hands, and she scratches violently like she's digging a hole. And so
she's gotten my ass before.
Yeah, dude, she's no joke. She goes rapid fire like with her little tiny paws. So they're polished by the flesh, my flesh.
Yeah. Like she'll go lump at you, like the old 1, 2, 1, and then she fucking strikes, and you have like your guard down. She punched me in the face with her face. I don't know if she's trying to bite me or not.
She battering rams. Yeah, no, she doesn't bite. She slams. Yeah. She'll slam her whole entire face and body into me. Yeah,
she
into
cold cocked me. I thought I was in the ring with like fucking Rocky, man. She got me so good.
She's a dirty fighter. I will say that. Like, she's a dirty fighter.
Yeah, she's a street fighting bitch.
Yeah, she goes for your face. She goes for your throat. She doesn't bite. She slams. Yeah, and I don't know what's worse.
But when she's in an actual fight, useless.
Dead.
Useless.
Yeah, when she's in an actual fight, she's getting thrown around like a rag doll, and Apollo is just staring. He feels nothing.
Speaking of creepy breathing, I guess I have to apologize.
Yeah,
for my audible breathing. I didn't know I did it, and I ruined the audio. Last
5 minutes of the last episode, Chelsea's breathing was like, like you can hear it like on the inhale and the exhale, which is like, damn, girl.
I have asthma, like crippling asthma.
You know, you could have asthma and not be a creepy guy in like a trench coat.
Well, also the allergies. I have to breathe. I have to breathe through my mouth.
Darth Vader is silenced. That shit was
daddy.
so loud.
Yeah, I am daddy. So you're welcome.
So yeah, that happened. Also, hey, what's up? My name is Noelle, and I wanted to say, congratulations. You're officially in my mom's rotation of pictures she screenshots from your profile and then reshares to hers.
Mm-hmm. She's gotten me before, but this is probably the first time she's ever shared a flattering photo of mine. True. She does. She'll get one of just like my neck.
She does like to hang out in the tagged photos.
Yeah. Yeah, she's gotten some where I'm like, Amy.
Yeah, she got it. She screenshots it. I've shown that woman how to crop a photo. like 7 times. No way. She's like, I'm showing you my battery life. I'm showing you what time it is.
Posted without context, maybe like an emoji heart.
No context, only tags. She'll take a screenshot like how like pirated movies on YouTube are, like where you're watching the recording and then you see 7 texts come through and they didn't bother to crop it. That's my mom. She'll take a screenshot of your Instagram profile, get my sister sending her a text showing her 2% battery life, like all of it. It's all, you can see what windows she has
and
open.
Then she shares it with like a pink heart.
Nothing. Full only tags, no context, not a single word.
Yeah.
No. Why would she need to follow that up with an actual post when
Always
she could
watching.
just throw that on there? I think it's so funny. Also, she loves screenshotting stories and sending them, and it's just like a blurry mess, and you're like, Jesus Christ.
Amy.
So welcome. Who are you?
I'm Chelsea. I'm creepy Darth Vader mouth breather.
Yeah, we need to check that shit. Stop mouth. You know what it was? You got too comfortable. You got too comfortable. It was the last half. It was the final conclusion of the story, and you were just like, so fucking bad, dude.
I think you're exaggerating it a little bit.
I'm not. Because I usually do like an audio video, like a clip from the show with like an image or whatever. I didn't do that last week. I think last week's episode was so fun. Also, shouts out to everyone who enjoyed it. I thought I was going to catch some heat. Only caught love. Only caught.
Yeah.
Everyone agreed with me on that one. Also, everyone. What everyone didn't see was the continuation of, dogs don't go to heaven. And I reached out to my my Jewish friend, and I was like, hey, since like you don't have any of the other stuff like clouding your judgment of the truth, and these like, bro, literally the entire book is like, beasts are a no-go. We're not saying they're bad, they just don't go to heaven. Heaven is for souls. And then he said to me, most people don't get into heaven. Why do you think a dog would? And I was like,
people are on a lower tier than dogs.
No, they're not. They said,
absolutely
no, it's beasts are below. Dogs are referred to as beasts back then.
But then the thing that was driving me nuts is I was sending you infinite biblical quotes. I think I sent you like 63 Bible quotes that said dogs have souls and they get into heaven. And you were just like, nope,
because
can't
even
read.
The quotes that you sent, they only took the first half, and the other half went into how the beasts go back into the earth specifically.
We go into the earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Yeah, our physical bodies, but our souls go to heaven.
Same dog souls go to heaven.
Dog souls, they don't.
Noel, you've never been more wrong.
Dogs don't have souls. That's the point.
They absolutely have
because
souls.
if they did have souls, Christians would be trying to save them so that they could go to heaven, but they don't because they don't have
save
souls.
them by taking care of them.
We do not.
We absolutely do. Saint Francis of Assisi is a patron saint over the animals.
I don't know why you get mad at me. I didn't write the Bible.
Because you have no skin in the game. You couldn't care less.
Exactly.
But this is the one biblical thing you're fighting me about. That's of all the things.
I have no skin in the game.
So you could also agree with me.
No,
and you would be on the same tier that you are now.
Because I have no skin in the game, and I'm just telling you the facts.
I'm telling you the facts. I'm telling you the hashtag facts.
No, you are not.
All right.
You're telling me like the new age facts that are like, no. Like, anal's fine and dogs go to heaven, and it's like, hey babes, if we're to sit here and actually read the Bible for the text that it is, you know what I mean? Like, I think if that helps you sleep at night, good.
But if we're going to read the Bible for the text that it is, then we can easily pull enough passages that say dogs go to heaven.
We can't though, because dogs are under the same umbrella as a beast.
But we can,
and beasts don't go to heaven.
If you look at the original, but we're going to go back to the Lilith thing where we're like, what the fuck is the translation? Because there's enough knowledge out there that does say dogs go to heaven, and heaven is everything you want it to be. And in heaven, I want it to be
heaven
dogs.
is not everything you want it to be.
It absolutely is.
No, it's the kingdom of God. It's what God's rules are, and God's rules say that.
But it's the ultimate paradise, and paradise has dogs in it.
Yours does. God's doesn't. You need to stop. Projecting your own heaven onto God. You're gonna just keep.
You
doing
need to
that,
stop projecting your own hate onto dogs.
You're not gonna be up in heaven. You know what I mean with this attitude. But again,
you know what,
like I said,
I'll take care of your dogs in heaven. I'll adopt them in my little roof.
They won't be there.
Cora will eat mashed potatoes every day. I feel like it's her favorite.
They might hinder her breathing.
Yeah, she needs a straw and a solid.
But like I said, my whole point is that like don't bring it up with me. I'm not the guy who wrote it. You know,
you gotta stop. This isn't. You're fighting on a hill that isn't even yours.
I'm not even fighting. I'm just telling you facts.
No, you came to me in my personal text messages. You sent me a message to my telephone after hours. Podcast was done. I was in my room.
Well, because I was like, I know, because like I know that it's a talking point that like people who are like very Old Testament like to bring up, and that's also why like New Age cool Christians have like come around with like pulling text to try to help them not because like especially now in this day and age that's a pretty big one that would like turn you off to thinking that God is just, you know what I mean?
But the thing that really bothers me with it is that you came for me during my RuPaul time and I had to pause RuPaul to fucking address this issue with you when I thought we were done.
I was like, no, she's like, where does it specifically say? Because I know it's a lot. So I want to, and so then I pulled all of the like about beasts not having souls and shit like that. And then I just wanted to let you know.
Thank you for letting me know. And then I wanted to let you know by sending you the copious amounts of text.
Amounts of text that in the text itself.
I just need you to interpret the Bible the way that I want you to. Or we're going to have to go to war about it, man.
I mean, that's how it happens historically.
Yeah. I would go to war over like whether or not dogs could get into heaven.
I would go to war. Period.
You can come to war with me when it eventually becomes.
Do you want to come to war? Let's go to war. Let's hang out. Let's go to war.
Okay. So I will like do something really violent, and I was just like, "Damn, I just want to slap your drink out of your hand, Mom."
You know. So anyway, speaking about not God,
I want to tell you a story.
Please tell me a story.
It's from.
I wanted to say something before we get into that story because it takes 2 seconds. It's also news that I shared with you and some people online.
Mm-hmm.
Today I was the receiver of some powerful information. Mm-hmm. And like, if there was more about it, I would make us do a whole episode on it, just like we did Nick Cage's Superman.
Yes. Let's dive into this because you were really affected.
I was really affected. Because there are a lot of movies that should have been made. There are a lot of movies that didn't get made, and thankfully they, thank God, right?
There's movies that did get made
and
don't
we're
deserve
like,
it
for why? And then there's movies that did get made, and we're like, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the universe likes to bestow information on me that is crushing, just randomly.
Yeah,
randomly. This like guy who is like a B horror movie fan and like a local like vintage like collector buyer seller, like that's his full-time job, right? Just randomly was like, hey, did you know that they were actually going to do a movie called Skate Jam? And I was like, wait,
you got to come back down to earth for a second to absorb that information.
What?
Yeah. Skate
Jam, like as in related to like the Space Jam franchise. And he was like, yeah, but it was going to be Skate Jam with Tony Hawk. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? And he's like, but I didn't know how to tell you this in a way. So I just brought it up randomly because the reason why it didn't get made was that the Looney Tunes movie with Brendan Fraser could. And I know how you feel about Brendan Fraser. And I was like, this is a lot. This is a lot to process.
To be clear, we love Brendan Fraser.
I have you seen the like this is the world if meme? So it's like this is the world if
perfect.
Yeah, and it's like this futuristic utopia. And it was like this is the world if Brendan Fraser wasn't blacklisted out of Hollywood, and it's just like utopia.
You're having to absorb a fact that potentially Brendan Fraser did something wrong.
Yeah, which I refuse to.
But you still gotta like swallow that pill.
Yeah, and there's also more to it that came out that I was like really struggling with. So not only were we robbed of what could have been Skate Jam with Tony Hawk, which makes more sense than Michael Jordan. Like Tony Hawk interacting with the Looney Tunes makes more sense than any of the matchups, period, to me. Like it just... And then someone on Twitter was like, oh, hey, because I was like, this is my 13th reason why, which is a reference to killing yourself. Like, sometimes knowledge isn't power. This is too much for me to handle. And they were like, oh, by the way, there were 4 sequels planned. Skate Jam with Tony Hawk, Race Jam with Jeff Gordon, and a golf-themed jam with Tiger Woods. Also, there was a direct basketball sequel that was planned as well.
Well, they're doing the one with LeBron, I've heard.
Yeah. But it's like rebooted, essentially.
Yeah, they took away the crop top. Everyone's mad
yeah,
about it.
I
I think we already talked about the crop top on here.
Because I'll die saying it. Like, Lola Bunny didn't invent the crop top for them to take it away
Right.
20 years later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Lola Bunny wore a crop top while playing basketball with Michael Jordan so that you could wear a crop top inside of a Trader Joe's and
you
not
wanna
feel
know what?
slut-shamed.
I just ordered my roller derby jersey. Guess what cut I got, baby?
Crop.
Motherfucking crop top.
Crop it. Crop it. All shapes, all sizes, all genders, and all non-binaries. Crop tops exclusively. Exclusively and only. When I think of crop tops, I think of Lola Bunny and I think of... oh my God, why am I blanking on his
Lola
name?
Bunny in a mirror.
No.
No, I don't know.
No. Nightmare on Elm Street. Johnny Depp. Right? Young Johnny Depp in a crop top. That was him on Nightmare on Elm Street.
You know what?
Was it Johnny Depp?
I don't know.
I
know Johnny Depp was in Nightmare on Elm
and he
Street.
wears the little jersey crop top. Do you know?
I believe you.
You haven't seen this?
I've seen it. I just can't picture it in my head.
You
I've only
can't-
seen parts of it, and I haven't memorized
You
it.
can't picture that in your mind's eye.
You can't either, motherfucker.
No, I just couldn't picture his name. I was so distracted by the image of
so you
him in a crop top.
You sent me a message threatening to kill yourself.
Yeah.
But that's terrible. And then the fact that it got...
Look at the little jersey.
That is cute. I would wear that.
Oh my God. And he's like on the phone in the bed. Oh, hey, queen. Good. So I messaged Chelsea and I was like, so I'm going to kill myself.
Like, you messaged me at work on our work channel.
Yeah.
From your work channel.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in the middle of training.
Yeah.
And
I was like, hey, guess what? I have terrible news.
yeah, you sent me that and I click on it. And then the first thing I see is why it wasn't made. And it was like, because of this bullshit fucking movie went straight to DVD.
Yeah.
And then that's the only thing I read of that article. Copy paste it, send it to you.
Yeah.
And it was just, wow, that was it. And then you just kind of stopped responding. Well, you said this is my 13th reason why.
Yeah. So you could have assumed.
And then later you were like, hey, do this. And I was like, I don't know how. And then you did it for me. Thank you, by the way.
God, it's like, what's the point? You know?
Well.
The point? So yeah, that was a lot of information for me to handle today. I felt the weight of the world crushing on my shoulders.
It's a lot.
I just couldn't even fathom what the energy of that movie would have been. Like, one of my favorite movies, also if you have Disney Plus, rewatch it, is Brink. The Disney original about competitive rollerblading, baby. Team Puppet Suds, baby. What? So I was like, the energy in that movie, I could imagine it being brought to like an early 90s Tony Hawk.
Imagine the
Looney
merch you
Tunes?
could have gotten from that too.
The merch?
We could have had like skate shoes.
Oh my God. Could
Marvin the
you-
Martian shredding in the poster you sent me. Just
I know. There's
amazing.
one image out and it's like a drawing. It's like a little animated sketch of what it would look like. And it looked too good.
and they robbed us of it.
Yeah.
First the housing crisis. Now this.
Now this.
What else are we supposed to endure?
I've
Like, you already
honestly-
did a pandemic of the body. Now you're doing a pandemic of the heart. Thanks, Looney Tunes.
It's too much. It's too much. I was about tapped out today. I'm gonna have to bring it up with my therapist.
You were really affected.
I was.
I'm so glad you could reach out to me during that time.
Can you like when? Well, there was a skateboarding movie with fucking Bam Margera in it. Do you remember?
Grind.
I
fucking love that movie. Oh my god. Dressed in yellow. She says hello. That is like one of my favorite fucking movies ever. When I say we share one heartbeat like a herd of elk, directly from Grind.
I
It
should
is
I'm
so
gonna
good.
rewatch that tonight. Why don't I own it?
Yeah, where
Why
am I
don't I
going to
own
get
it?
it?
I just
On the
got
internet? Okay.
No, we got to go to that store again, and I'll spend another $100.
Oh, let's go this weekend.
Well, I'm gonna be in your neck of the woods, bro. Can
You
my
are.
bank account handle
Also,
it?
you low-key bullied me. You're like, what are you doing this weekend? And I'm like, oh, moving, so tapped out. And you're like, false. I bought you a ticket. Enjoy this friendship. And I'm like, literally in the middle of moving. So now I have to tell Oliver in the middle of moving that I got to go fuck off to
BRB.
Salt Lake
Yeah,
to watch an anime.
yeah.
What is it?
Demon Slayer.
To watch this movie
You're gonna like it a lot.
and then come home.
yeah, that's reasonable.
It'll be fine. He shouldn't. I mean, we're starting off on the right foot. And then I have a book club and Star Wars on Sunday. It's just a busy weekend for me. So
Is
I'm
he
trying
on
to
my
get
bed?
everything.
Apollo.
I can't see from this angle.
I hear it. Apollo. He's taking advantage of us not paying attention. Hey, come here. Oh,
The thump.
did you hear it?
Yeah, the thump is over bed.
Get you motherfucker. I'm gonna. Ooh. You can tell I don't.
Noel's
get my dog
pretending.
'cause he doesn't
Noel's
even
pretending to punch Apollo, and he's just looking at her with the most loving gaze.
Ooh.
Like he doesn't like. Yeah, you can tell when a dog's never been hit when you're like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, and they're like, duh, play.
Sometimes I'll slap box him like this.
Yeah.
I like making percussion on his mouth.
Sometimes when Noel kisses Apollo, it's the cutest thing ever. He wipes it
He
off.
wipes it off. Yeah, he's a
The
bastard.
most obstinate thing.
It's so,
But it's
like,
adorable.
it's so for real because I don't like let my dogs kiss my face. I think that's disgusting. Sorry if you do, Caucasians. That's your own thing.
Calling me out.
Hey, get off the bed! I swear to God.
Cora loves it. Yeah.
So I grab his muzzle because Apollo has like such a long face right in between his eyes. His eyes are a little far apart if you can't tell. It's the perfect little nub for you to kiss in. So I grab his muzzle, like I grab it because it's like a little beak to me.
Yeah.
And I go really fast, like on his nose.
Yeah.
And then he will knock himself out, dude. He'll slam his face into the ground and wipe it, wipe it off. It's so ridiculous.
The funniest thing. Oh my God.
Yeah, he's such a fucker.
Noel will
too.
act offended. She'll be like, don't wipe it off. And then she'll give him another kiss. And he's like, oh, bitch. And
he does
wipes
it again.
off.
It's so stupid.
Oh, it's
God,
adorable.
He's such a piece of shit.
You're the cutest baby.
But anyway, tell me your story.
Oh, okay.
Now that I went to therapy about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So this
Also,
is
we gotta get grind. Don't let me forget. I'll forget immediately. Don't let me.
I'm the mouth breather with the brain injury. So I don't know what to tell you.
Bro!
Someone remind us.
Somebody's
Oliver will. Oliver.
Don't let us not buy grind.
Yeah.
I have Animatrix and Heavy Metal in my like.
You know what?
list
Let's
of things
fucking see what platform it's on right now. Actually, you do it while I read the story.
I can literally download anything.
Okay.
All
right. For God's sakes,
Please tell
I'm
me
going to
the
read you
story.
this fucking story.
Please. By the way,
It's from Travel Guide article. So
Oh,
hold on to your
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
seats by a nice lady named Linda Godfrey. So here's the quote from the article from Ms. Godfrey. I used to go to the Felt Mansion in Saugatuck at night with friends when I was in high school. The building back then was abandoned and falling apart. One night, while my friends and I were exploring the grounds, we heard something rustling in the woods. I tried to just brush it off as a deer, maybe a fat raccoon, but a man with what appeared to be an overly sized head emerged from the woods about 50 yards away and, saying nothing, started to walk slowly towards us. At this point, the same idea hit all of us, and we started sprinting towards our car. We scrambled in and peeled out of the parking lot at full speed, not slowing down until we were several miles from the mansion. When we all settled down, we started to laugh at how we must have overreacted, nervously hoping that it was just a neighbor or possibly a watchman. Several days later, I told the story to my dad, and he suddenly got very serious. And he told me that I must never go back to the Felt Mansion at night.
that was it.
Yeah, so let's start this one off in a place called Holland in the United States. It's a city.
Oh.
So sometime, there is more to that story, but I wanted to cut it off because now we're going to get into history.
Like, that's the most anticlimactic. That is the most fucking mayonnaise white bread sandwich of the fucking story I've ever
I did
heard.
after.
That's
I did
how you
ominous
breathe,
noises. Yeah. Ominous noises.
Also, just trying to make it through the last 5 minutes of an episode.
I can only talk for so long.
Bitch! You can only talk for so long. You can breathe never.
Yeah. I have asthma, Noelle.
Okay.
It kills me. You
Well,
know,
get it under control.
Scottie Pippen. I think Scottie Pippen's son just died of asthma.
Who's Scottie Pippen? Oh, the basketball player.
Yeah. So
I thought that was a
I got on
person
your
you
face.
knew.
Yeah, Scotty. Didn't you know Scotty, old Scott? Okay, so sometime in 1928, there was a man named Dorr Felt. Dorr. What a weird name, right?
Dorr. His name is Dorr.
Dorr. Yeah.
Love
Dorr
that.
Felt.
Their kid's name Apple, so like whatever.
Yeah.
We're just looking
Goop.
around the kitchen and being like, here we go.
Mama Goop. And Dorr was so enamored with his wife that he decided to build her a summer home.
A door.
Go fuck yourself. Oh, so he wanted to build her a nice home and like a big ass house. And by summer, had managed to build her a beautiful mansion. Now, unfortunately, Felt's wife passed away in the house a meager 3 weeks after he built it.
Jesus.
I know. That would suck so bad.
It out of mercury?
Yeah, probably. Well, I think she was sick before. I think she died of like...
What did old people not old people, what is an old-timey disease? Scarlet
consumption.
fever. Okay.
Yeah. Whatever.
Choose your own adventure.
Yeah. She got cold on March 10th and passed away.
The breeze was a little rough.
Yeah. And although Felt did remarry, his new wife refused to spend any time in the new home.
Because it was haunted.
Well, she was disgusted by the homage it paid to her husband's deceased one true love.
It's like the Taj Mahal.
Yeah, she didn't want to go there. And so when Felt was on his deathbed in 1930, so only 2 years like after the mansion was built.
These short relationships.
Well, they all died early then. He turned ownership of the house over to his daughters, who ended up selling the home in 1949. They just couldn't afford to keep up with it. Maybe their husbands didn't let them, it was a pretty precarious time in the United States, the 40s.
The 40s, yeah.
And so the house was converted into the St. Augustine School for Boys. And obviously, as time went on, seminary schools became less and less popular. So the obvious
child abuse and shit.
Yes, exactly. And then parents, love their children more, I think.
Yeah.
They could kept them.
I would also say parents loved their children more and abortions became more accessible.
Yeah.
Because if you had a kid you didn't want, you just put them in boarding school and never see them again.
Yeah.
Let a nun raise them.
It's like, my kid is loud and mean. And they're like, send him to school forever and never see him again. So the obvious choice for a school or a mansion turned boys' school
to be haunted
was for Dunes Correctional Prison to buy it and turn it into a torture house for criminals.
Love that.
And the prison's inability to care for the mansion and copious amounts of budget cuts that they obviously experienced was enough to cause issue with the state. So they ended up selling the entire estate to Lake Township for
Don't you love that the prison became so dilapidated that the state eventually had to come in and be
was like, you gotta
I know
do
we
something.
should have been putting money into this to prevent this from happening, but it's now become such an eyesore to the public that we have to close it.
Guess what they sold it for?
3 cents.
$1 in the mid 90s.
Oh my god, we really could have cashed out.
Yeah. So they sold it to this township under contract, saying that they had to preserve the estate, and then that way the meager price tag would stay the same. So if they didn't take care of the house, then they'd bump it up.
That's a stupid clause.
I mean, maybe it's something maybe you're in the prison state now of your apartment.
I think I'm in the prison state now, period, in life.
And then they're just letting it, they're letting it fall down and be dilapidated, and it's infested by fly. So
the one fly,
yeah, there's one fly.
It was
in here.
a nice day out, so I left my door open, and I opened the screen so that they could walk in and out, and sit because Cora likes to sunbathe, and
you let one fly in,
and it is terrorizing me in my own home.
It's actually not bothering me, maybe because I have the correct opinion about dogs, but you never know. And you can even look it up to this day. It's under the National Register of Historic Places, if you're curious about it.
This
it's old, shitty place. So something interesting about this mansion is that some claim at one point or another it was actually an insane asylum.
Oh, they always are.
And especially when locals claim that they can still hear the screams of the tormented patients there now and then, it kind of adds to the mystery behind it.
I feel like it doesn't have to be an asylum for people to scream. It could still just be a boys' school and a prison.
Right?
You don't have to jazz up your shitty story to make it shittier.
Yeah.
Just let it be what it was.
Well, and also according to the historical record about the house, it's not accurate. Never an asylum.
Yeah, of course it's not. Because why would it be? It was already terrible things.
Let's not dismiss the lore of the mansion too quickly, though. Because Felt Mansion, as wrapped up in its strange surroundings as it is, often gets confused with another Connecticut place.
The Topsy?
No, it's a hospital called Fairfield Hills. Now, Fairfield Hills actually was an insane asylum. The two often get confused.
Oh, see, it's just idiot locals mixing up their stories.
Yeah. But now this place, Fairfield Hills and Felt Mansion, both exist, and you can read about them in the New England Historical Society. And Fairfield Hills is an honest-to-God, not conspiracy location. Same with Felt Mansion. Like, they both exist 100%. Fairfield Hills even looks like an old college campus. Like, people walk their dogs there and people jog there, despite it, nothing going on. And they have a lot of sordid history in common. And there is a reason that the father from that travel story at the very beginning of the topic, the anticlimactic one, was terrified about his kid running around the backwoods of Connecticut at night.
I think you should be terrified of someone running in the backwoods of Connecticut, period. It doesn't matter if the building is haunted, Well, people get abducted and put into sex slavery.
Well, and especially when like mysterious people start coming out of the literal woodwork, like that's fucking scary.
Yeah, he didn't have to be scary in a ghosty way. He was just scary as in like, is this man gonna murder me and kidnap me and sell me online?
They might, or they might fucking kill you and
through,
eat you.
Overstock.com.
Maybe. In their big ass children's lockers.
Yeah, in the locker.
I think it was Wayfair though.
Whatever.
It doesn't matter. So, Fairfield Hills and Felt Mansion have another interesting part of history which overlaps. At one point, both of these places, as discussed, housed people that regular society could just not stand or bear to look at. And these people came to be known as the Melon Heads.
Oh.
Now, it's probably really mean and politically incorrect to refer to the people as Melon Heads. Because at one point, the seminary and the hospital actually did treat people with an actual condition called hydrocephalus. And hydrocephalus is a condition where spinal fluid accumulates in the brain and causes massive amounts of pressure to be put on the skull. And so what tends to happen in these cases, especially if it's not treated in like babies where they have like their soft skulls, is that the fluid expands the cranium to like the size of a melon. Symptoms other than the obvious head engorgement. Yeah.
Do you remember? I need you to put your thinking cap.
Is it Rubber Johnny?
Yes.
I watched.
My God.
You have no idea how tormented I was by Rubber Johnny.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was like a fucking artistic thing. It scared the bejesus out of me.
Early internet video. It's just Matt. It was like
Mars Attacks.
Literally, they're like ack.
Yeah.
It was like a poorly lit. If I remember, I haven't seen this in fucking.
And it has like that
years.
Green, almost like night vision tint to it.
Yeah.
Very creepy.
Yeah. Poorly lit, almost night vision-y. Like, and it's through like almost a scope, kind of like there's just a little bit of light flashing, so you could barely see the main occupant of the video.
Yes.
Who is this?
He's a very
big,
frail.
Headed.
I'm describing the body. Yeah, a very frail bodied.
Ginormous head.
Giant
wheelchair,
fucking melon head. In a wheelchair, yeah.
Like kind of like his head is so big that he can't sit properly.
We do have similar breathing patterns because he's like
sounds the same.
And then they're like, he's like pitching a fit and he's like, his name's Johnny and it's like the guy trying to talk to him like why'd you do it? And he's like
yeah.
But then if you keep watching the video, it like turns into a music video and he's like throwing lights and stuff. Do you remember?
No, because I never watched past like
oh my gosh, I think maybe like 2 or 3 months ago I watched the whole thing because
Why?
Well, because it used to scare the bejesus out of me, right?
Yeah.
And I never watched the whole thing. And then I watched it as, an adult and I was like, this is what I was fucking scared of for years. And then when I finished it turned into like a music video.
Chihuahua. The Chihuahua opens
the other
up.
bulbous one.
You feeling okay? You feel well? Go and get you something? Do you want a glass of water?
Same. Also, it does kind of have like the Mars Attacks like face.
Fucking fast forward, he does a line of coke and then starts throwing lights. Yep.
Yeah, I forget the weird like chihuahuas in it too with like the night vision. So it's big ass head and it's big ass glowing eyes.
Yep.
Oh, the tongue.
I hated that so much.
No.
Yeah, and then he like look at it.
With his finger. And he's doing like wheelies on the wheelchair.
Yeah, then it turns into like a weird ass. It's like a project thing. I don't know. I Googled it and it's like this place does like weird videos like that. It's like their thing.
Honestly, what were we watching when the internet first came out? When YouTube first like dropped, like and people started using it, that's like what was on it. That, and then do you remember the guy in the black and white video when he was like something about French fries or chicken strips, and he'd be like, shh, and he talked really angry, like
Unforgivable.
Bitch,
I got no money. He used to drive. And she'd be like, "Where'd you get those pants? I stole them." Yes, so good. And then I would bounce between that and cat. I'm a kitty cat. I don't stunts.
Dark times, dude.
Yeah,
dark times. Also the Charlie.
I hate it. I didn't watch that. I hated that. And then Salad Fingers.
Salad Fingers is always a classic.
Yep.
Damn. There was also before he was probably a pedophile then, but Shane Dawson, original Shane Dawson, emo Shane Dawson, doing People of Walmart, filming clearly inside of a Walmart at 3 a.m., like crawling on the ground and shit. Damn.
Crazy times.
It was different. Also, the End of the World. The End of the World is one of my favorite videos. I still watch it today.
It's like, but I'm tired. Well, then have the nap and then fire the missiles.
Oh my god. Woo! Anyway, I thought of Rubber Johnny immediately when you described it.
Me too. I thought of it the whole time I was writing this. So other than the obvious head engorgement that's caused by fluid being in your brain, they also could have like other symptoms are vomiting, double vision, personality changes, like wetting themselves, headaches, and mental impairment in general.
Oh, no shit. Your spinal fluid just floating in your fucking skull and you might have a little headache. Yeah, no shit.
And it's not just like gently swollen heads. It's
it's like
it does look like Rubber Johnny in some cases a little bit, where their heads are just
Arnold
big.
Maybe that's what that was. You remember Hey Arnold? Cartoon? Maybe
his
he
football
had
head. Probably. Nobody cared about the kids in that show.
No one did.
And people can survive hydrocephalus, especially when caught early enough.
It's unfortunate that it sounds like hydrosyphilis, like syphilis on water.
Yeah, it's not water
syphilis.
STDs. And in fact, if a baby gets a fluid reduced in its brain before it turns 1, then the likelihood that hydrocephalus will have a significant impact on its life expectancy is almost 0.
Yeah, who's just like, let's leave it in there, it'll dissolve, bro?
Weirdly enough, people in the 30s to the 60s, the time frame we were talking about,
they'd figure it out by then.
No, this hospital was like open until 95 or whatever.
Yeah, it's always crazy to look back and be like, oh yeah, they literally just like
Geraldo or Rivera did that like expose on that like torture hospital.
Yep, I was gonna say Rivera.
Yeah, and so if we're assuming that people at that time actually cared about people suffering with this condition,
I don't see. Here's my thing. I'll play devil's avocado here. I don't even care if you care about the suffering. It's just like you would look whatever. That's what you do. That's what you do. You're an evil nurse. It doesn't matter what their head shape is. But why didn't they look at a head swollen full of fluid and was like, let's just give it a little boop, let it get a pop, drain it. No one thought that. You'd put a leech on a broken ankle, but you wouldn't drain the fluid.
Well, let's taco about it. You got the avocado, I got the taco. Fairfield Hills housed like 4,000 patients, and they had about 1 doctor for every 200 patients. Degree. Well, probably not.
Baristas were more medically trained.
Yeah, like they joined the army, and the army was like, be a doctor. And they're like, well, okay.
I only know how to shoot a gun. Perfect. You're the perfect doctor.
Yeah. So 4,000 patients, and then like a small dollop of doctors. So even if they had the best intentions, there's no way that they're going to be able to give them any standard of care.
A doctor back then? I'm just pretty sure you just would like show up and be like, I'm a doctor, and they'd be like, yes.
I think you just had to graduate high school.
Yeah, I think you just had to read. Can you read?
Yeah, you had to graduate high school and you had to own a horse.
Yeah, that's it. That was it.
Probably didn't even have to read. No. Your wife read for you.
Yeah, literacy 0.
Yeah.
How are your times tables? Not great. Good, you're a doctor.
It's like the syphilis hadn't taken you yet, so you didn't have the shakes too bad, and then you could just like cut an artery to get the ghost out of their blood.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you'd look at someone with a big head and you'd be like, that's big head. And then they'd be like, God damn, doctor, you're right. And that's it.
He's a genius.
Yeah.
That big head.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they didn't want to drain it. They were like, the doctor was like, I'm not sure if it's fluid or he's the smartest man alive.
Meanwhile, the person is just pissing and vomiting all over themselves.
Like drooling and screaming for help. And he's like, let's let it sit. Just let him let's let it stew. Let's watch how smart he is.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They just watched people make soup in their heads.
Yeah.
And they loved it.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at Fairfield Hills, like it looks super pretty on the outside. Like it almost looks like those old school colleges where just everything looks like a coliseum or whatever. But if you look inside Fairfield Hills, which you can't, there's like a gate and it says stay 15 feet away. We'll never get in.
Says who? A guy who doesn't have wire cutters.
Oh, now you're thinking. On the inside, they would have containment rooms. They had laboratories and
Laboratory.
laboratories. I'll say it like a Utah. Damn it! I just think it's bullshit that I can't say crick, but if I say laboratories correctly, you're like angry with me.
Get out! That's why
He's so stupid.
Oh my god.
And they had tunnels like under the hospital, and they forced their patients to go through the tunnels.
That's good.
Because they didn't want people to see how they were treated. Like
They didn't want to see those
the big heads. No, they did it.
No one can see how smart they are.
Yeah, and we don't want to say that people who suffer from hydrocephalus are the cryptids known as melon heads. No, don't laugh at that. I'm trying to put a disclosure in here. It's a terrible disease. People suffer here.
Wait a fucking second.
I'm trying to be politically correct.
Wait a second. Are you saying? Oh my god, I'm gonna fucking. Are you saying? Are you saying? Are you saying people? People really saw these fucking poor people suffering with this disease, and they're like, Bigfoot. They really saw. They're like Mothman, Bigfoot, melon heads. That's it.
Yeah, because they're like, at some point, the theory is that like the boys from the school who suffered from this escaped, or that the hospital shut down and then just didn't give a like, these people were unclaimed, and they're like, go. But I can't believe you came for me.
Okay. I can't believe it. It's so wrong. It's so wrong.
I know. That's why I said we're not saying that.
That is what you're saying. That is why we're here in the first place. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. Because some people looked at some people with disabilities and said, not a person, a cryptid. Not a person, a cryptid. That's what they said.
I said it's not politically incorrect to call them melon heads.
Jersey Devil, Bigfoot, Mothman, Melonhead, Chupacabra. In that order. Damn, that's incredible. You know what?
Yeah.
What a great way to just put a Band-Aid over a problem. Why address the fact that we didn't give proper medical care to people for a totally curable disease that would have left zero impact on their life, when we can just have them suffer in their own urine and screams at night and then call them fucking cryptids?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's sad and shitty because there is enough credibility surrounding these places that once the children grew up with this condition and then they couldn't be like physically controlled by staff anymore, that they literally just fucked them off into the woods.
So they just opened the door and like, go check it out?
Yeah. And then
they were just like
really
freeing the horses. They were just like, gates up, go run.
It's like in Flipper when Elijah Wood is like, get out of here. And then they're like, I'm home though. No, they just kicked him the fuck out. And now I know what you're thinking. I'm going to guess.
Do you?
One, you can't just have a region full of people with melon heads. It doesn't make geographic sense. And just because they may have this condition doesn't mean that they're violent.
A cryptid.
The melon heads. So let's go back in time just a hair.
Yeah, I don't think they're violent. And you want to know my reasoning? Very scientific. I don't think someone with that big of a head could swing on me. What are they gonna do?
No, they are violent. I did it like
they are violent.
I tried to pull the like spookiest story I could find, but like if the backwoods of like Connecticut and stuff, are like notorious for these like big head sightings of people.
Bro, what the fuck? You're not even supposed to hit someone in the head unless you want to do true damage. Imagine if their head was the size of a fucking watermelon.
Dude, imagine if their head was cushioned with spinal fluid. They wouldn't feel any pain. They got extra fluid. They got extra juice.
Yeah. I just think that's a bigger target area. I just feel like nobody with that big of a head has any sort of like...
It'd be like an ant.
Equilibrium's all off.
Well, I don't fucking know, Noelle, because I don't live in Connecticut.
Also, you said they have double vision, so they're like swinging on me, but it's the me to the left, 30
Yeah, but it's like if you
degrees.
get a horde of them on you, where are you going to go? You can't
They're
dodge a big-ass
rolling in
head.
hordes?
Yeah.
You didn't say that.
Well, I'm fucking trying to.
Okay, go. Tell me about how they're in packs, like wolves. Coyotes surrounding you.
Because it doesn't make sense. Like, because it's not like a very common condition. It doesn't make sense that this one spot in Connecticut would have all these people with this problem, right? Well, let's talk about it.
Maybe, unless there's something in the water that makes them have. Of course it is.
No. Close.
Oh, damn it.
In Connecticut, from 1647, actually not close at all, I'm sorry.
You're a bitch.
In Connecticut, from 1647 to 1663, we had something which I like to affectionately call the height of the witchcraft trials. And it's not witchcraft, so now is what we have seen with the debacle of the Salem scene. Anyone can get accused of witchcraft if they piss the right people off, no matter how affluent
it's like
they
the
are.
Red Scare.
Yeah.
You
And
didn't like your neighbor to say they're a communist. You didn't like your neighbor to say they're a witch.
Yeah. Yep. And so in one particular instance, there was a family called the Shelton Trumbolls. And
terrible name.
well, they like hyphenated. It's like a hyphen. It's stupid. But they were affluent enough that the townships were actually named after the family. So this family grew to prominence, and then the town was named after them. So they wanted to keep their name hyphenated so they could have both towns in their name.
Stupid.
Yeah, it was a little bit of narcissism.
But they feel embarrassed about it now.
Yeah. So eventually, the Shelton Trumbolls did get accused of witchcraft, and it could have been like a combination of the town secretly hating them or just like the witchcraft trials being at their height. But the family was run out of town so violently and quickly that they literally only left the clothes on their back. Like they had to just get the fuck out. Mm-hmm. And I don't personally know about the Connecticut winters, but I've read about them, and they're
It's East Coast. It's cold.
Yeah, it's brutal and unforgiving. And if you are a family in the mid 1600s, there's really not much you can do with literally no resources in there. Mm-hmm. So when people are trapped in the wilderness, hungry and cold, they turn to pretty extreme measures of survival.
Cannibalism.
Both for physical and family preservation, meaning this family turned to 1, cannibalism, and 2, incest.
Wow.
Part of the rumors with the higher amounts of hydrocephalus are that the incest and cannibalism really fucked with the genealogy of this family.
No shit.
Who, after decades and decades and decades and decades of messing with their family line, became prominent carriers of this condition.
I like the fact that like eventually the shit had passed, like the witch trials had passed, and everyone was like, you know, pulling on their collars about it, and then they were still like, we're gonna still be in the woods fucking each other.
I think once you like eat parts of your family and start like having sex with your family members, you have to self ostracize because they'll get your ass even today.
That's fair.
You're
but they
safe
told
nowhere.
Nobody and integrated again. Like, oh my god, hey guys.
Yeah.
guys.
Well, some of them did get out and they did integrate. And there's a lot of theories surrounding this. Like either the family's bloodline is like got, you know, spread out enough in this community that especially people like early on who didn't know how to treat these types of conditions were unknown carriers just based on this one ancestral link. Or blah blah blah, or that the family is still lingering there and it's just their backwoods monster children still going out for human torture.
We talked about it a little bit, right? About that documentary where they're like interviewing the Appalachian family, and they're so inbred that they don't
The one
even
guy's
have
just
the ability
barking.
to talk.
Yeah. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah. And so are these
How
melon
good
head
is
babies
fucking your sister that you
torturing?
do that? You see that happen, and you're like, I'm still gonna fuck her. You know what I mean?
I don't.
Your brother can't talk. He just physically can't. It's not that he doesn't want to. It's just like physically.
Yeah.
And he also looks like a fucking boot that was found in the ocean.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
As a person.
The genetics were not kind to them.
The genetics didn't show up. And then you're like, I'm still gonna just be out here fucking my sister.
But there's a light on inside, which is so sad. Like, there's such happiness in his eyes.
I don't
And
think
it's-
that's happiness.
I don't know.
But he does, like, he gets excited like a puppy. Like when someone he likes comes to the door, he's like,
well, they mention his brother who died, and he goes and shows them where they buried him in the yard. He's like, "Hup, hup, hup." Yeah, it's like a puppy.
yeah.
Barking family. One sister can talk, and she kind of
probably
communicates. Yeah, it was very weird. So, I did look up a lot of stories about the melon heads. I tried to pick the spookiest one, but the amount of melon head stories about Connecticut, like they call a lot of the roads like Dracula roads, where the melon heads are, because they just fucking get you. Or people have been out there where they've like parked their car and then their car gets stolen by like weird looking people with big heads who clearly don't know how to drive and then crash the car and then they just scuttle off into the thicket.
I'd love to see that. I purposely want to get my car jacked just to see that happen.
Yeah.
Some hills have eyes shit.
The melon heads of Connecticut. And thank you.
Wonderful job.
End scene.
Wonderful job.
Thank you.
Got a little problematic there for a second. Then we came back.
Yeah, I really it just goes hand in hand. Like people want the melon heads to be a cryptid, but then there's also like a actual explanation for what happens when people actually get enlarged heads.
They can be a cryptid in your heart.
Yeah. So it's people
Anything
want
can
an
be a
actual
cryptid in your
explanation.
heart. Also, speaking of, have you been seeing about how there have been UFO sightings in LA? Like last week,
I feel like I have, yeah.
they were triangular.
Yeah, and they're like,
and it came in sequence with some sort of like weapon testing.
oh, yep. Something happened last year in the fucking, I'm having like, I don't know, I think I'm having a stroke, but the military was like, no, that was just our training stuff. And people were like, what was this then? And it was
Yeah.
like suddenly that Mariah gif where she puts on her glasses and it's like, I can't read suddenly.
Yeah,
They always come around
Yeah.
for
Like,
you, like when weapon
I don't mean to
testing
be all
happens.
Tucker Carlson, but Fox News was like the only place I was covering it, and they were showing the footage because they were like triangular, like very detailed shot, like and they were blipping.
Oh my God, they're fucking cherubs, maybe.
That's what, you know. But you should look it up. It's kind of hard to find. I just saw it.
Well, I would hold the microphone with my
Please
chin
don't do
fat
that.
again, but nobody likes to.
Don't. This is horrible. This Chelsea has the microphone between her chin and chest, and then
just hold it in
we're
my double
probably
chin.
hearing that horrific laugh.
I have a good laugh, damn it.
But yeah, I saw it like clips on TikTok of people being like,
Oh, that's why I didn't see it.
and yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, you probably didn't see it because of that. People are like, no one's fucking talking about this, but hate to say it, Fox News just showed this, and it was like footage from a military camera.
That's so interesting.
And then, that came out and separately. And then
Yeah.
people were like, oh my God, that's so weird because they were testing this weapon on that day, on this time. So, you know, those two things always line up.
Or it was the UFO thing, nothing to do with the weapons testing, and then the military tries to explain it away by going, no, it was us, it was weapon testing. That's just
true,
the
either
umbrella
or.
term.
Either or, it happened.
Disclosure supposedly happened during COVID, and like everyone was waiting for it, and then like not much. We covered on some of the, we went down a little CIA document rabbit
Yeah.
hole there for a while.
Yeah.
Nothing
Well,
that
like-
much fun came from it.
No, well, because it's a CIA document. They do that on purpose.
Everything's redacted.
Yeah, everything good is redacted. It's all sandwiched between bullshit. The only thing that we wanted to know, and we do know for a fact, not even conspiracy, is that like the CIA recognizes UFOs,
Yeah.
even though there's a new term for them. I'll have to look it up. They're calling them something different now because the CIA is trying to coin the term UFO for like anything unidentified. So even if they see like tech that they don't recognize, but it's clearly another country and like they know what it is, they just don't have a name for it, they'll call it a UFO.
Sure.
It's just them trying to dilute the term UFO. It's the whole like if you're taking away the power by using the word. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So when they release dossiers name dropping UFO like every fucking paragraph, but it's clearly connected to this type of plane that we don't have the name of here, like from this country.
Yeah.
They're taking the power away from the term UFO. So ufologists have come up with a different name that they're trying to use for what they consider a UFO, not tech related country beefing shit, but actual
They're
like
changing the game.
extraterrestrial.
It's the same with Flat Earth. They just slap that on the umbrella of conspiracies so that other conspiracies aren't taken seriously.
Mm-hmm.
What are you hiding in Antarctica, NASA?
Antarctica keeps getting brought up in the pop culture, like, which is always a sign as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
but I also hate it because I'm like, Antarctica is mine. I know it's not. I know it's not.
I know, but like, they're not even using it correctly, but they're using it as a conspiracy buzzword.
Yep.
But it's the purposeful misdirection.
Yeah.
It's when they allow you to use it and talk about it. So like in all of the 10 references, like 10 pop culture references we've seen Antarctica dropped in even in the last year. Out of those 10, one is probably true.
And even this month when we watched Godzilla versus Kong,
Mm-hmm.
Antarctica's like the
Antarctica.
entrance to Hollow Earth.
Yeah. Someone else said something. God, they're going to be so mad because they totally listened because it was in one of the groups and they were like, I was just watching or reading and they dropped Antarctica and I thought of Chelsea. Like as a conspiratorial point in the story. And it was it was not Godzilla versus Kong.
The next thing we should talk about is Admiral Byrd and how he thinks that there's another landmass, and that's like part of what's being hidden. That'd be a great episode. I'm also a little heartbroken to write new episodes because I lost my magnum opus.
Yeah, the Russian episode.
Yeah, we were gonna have a beautiful Russian episode, and all we got was melon heads out of it. Had nothing to do with it, but my heart was so broken and jaded that I just had to start a whole new topic.
I know.
It was an unfortunate copy paste.
Yeah, we got to touch the Russians again.
We will.
We got to.
We got to get them before they get us.
As always. If you're not one step ahead, you're one step behind.
And if you're one step behind, you're already dead.
You're dead.
So.
You're dead. You're buried. Your family doesn't know where you are. You disappeared. Your passport's burnt. Putin had nothing to do
Not
with
even
it.
Noelle's mom can find you to take screenshots of your social media.
She can't even tag you. That's how far away you are. Okay, awesome. Thanks for talking about cryptid people.
Thank you.
Shout out if there are any melon heads listening right now. So sorry that Chelsea did that to you. That was really rude of her.
I know. Noelle laughed at the part where I tried to be politically correct, and then it made me feel bad.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
You batch.
As always, most importantly, hail Satan.
Hail modern science.
That's also, you know what? Kind of when I say hail Satan, I'm also including science in there. You just have to know what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.